Nintendo says mods don't count as prior art as they're not full games, attempting to sway judge in Palworld lawsuit.
Fucking what, cunt?
They don't count as art because they're not full game.
Right, alright, you know what?
Okay.
I'll play along for now. User-made mods should not be considered prior art, Nintendo has argued as part of the company's lawsuit against Palworld's developer Pocket Pair. Nintendo claim appears to be an attempt at blocking Pocket Pair from using popular Pokemon mods as evidence that the franchise's patent gameplay was already being featured in other games elsewhere. This argument put forth by Nintendo essentially that mods require a separate base game to function, so therefore are not art by themselves, have raised eyebrows across the industry and among Pokemon fans alike, with many suggesting that it could have far-reaching consequences if accepted by a judge. You just described the whole fucking lawsuit in that half of the sentence.
Yeah.
Writing in Games Frame, which first reported development, the games industry reporter and legal analyst Florian Mueller described that the suggestion that gameplay ideas or innovation featured in mods are not viable as prior art as something that showed utter disregard for the enormous creativity of many mod makers. Fuck you, yeah. Additionally, and perhaps more concerning from legal perspective, if accepted, the ruling could potentially open the door to mods being considered fair game for patent thieves who could swoop in and incorporate the same ideas into full game releases, which would then be protected. Patents are a special monopoly granted by governments of the world to encourage creative innovation. Business lawyer and creator of Virtual Legally podcast, Richard Hogue, told IGN today, if something already exists in the world, some new person is not allowed to claim they invented it and get protection. We call everything that already exists prior art, and it would be ludicrous to attempt any piece of game design from a category simply because of how it stood up in the software. The mechanism for access shouldn't really matter. It exists. It makes things in the world non-novel and thus not subject to protection. We don't give out monopolies to second place. This is fucking... What the fuck is Nintendo? What? How is this? Yeah, go on.
I don't know how the fuck that's gonna happen. Like, I could see them winning this, but it would be so fucking retarded. This is effectively, okay, let's say you have a vinyl disc, okay? And you decide to scratch in your own fucking song, right? Because that's how vinyl works. They scratch it onto the grooves. Let's say you go and scratch something else onto those grooves. That's its own piece of art, right? Why would you? I don't know, but let's just say you would. In this case, they would be saying that your actual piece of art that you have now put with those other pieces of art isn't actually art because it's on a because there's other art there before, and it's not a full piece of art on its own. How the fuck does that work? That doesn't make any fucking sense. There's no way that makes any sense at all. You can make there's more of an argument to be made that you can't mod stuff because you're overriding, a patented thing, right? That makes more sense than whatever the fuck this is. This is effectively saying, hey, Lethal, you draw something, and then I draw a little hat, and if you basically are like, that hat doesn't matter. No, because I drew a little stick figure before, so like the hat, it's not art. That part's not art. The rest of it's art. How the fuck does that work?
This has reached the point now where it's like, it already was utterly ridiculous from the jump, but this has reached the point where are you seriously just coming up with any little fucking minor thing that you can put a pin in and go, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. Yeah, you're Richie Rich here, just trying to fucking have everything all at once.
Dude, this could fuck over future mods if they're not allowed to have Pokemon mods. Now imagine the other companies like fucking COD, like these big greedy fucking assholes, right? Who oh fuck, dude. PlayStation, right? I mean, we're already seeing them do that. They're gonna see this and go, holy fuck, wait, I can go after mods now? Oh, dude! Yeah. Dude, imagine Resident Evil, Capcom will eat this shit the fuck up. If this wins, the amount of, people going for mods, if Nintendo with this, modding is dead.
I don't actually think so. I don't think this is really going to have that big of an effect on mods. What it has an effect on is more of something like Fallout London, like a big overhaul mod. Minor mods, I don't think it's really going to matter, but big overhaul mods, this could be... Somebody could find a way to use that. against them. I don't know how you would, and I don't really. I don't know.
No,
I still think there is a place for modding. I think the real problem is they're trying to basically set a precedent for all of art just so they can fuck over Palworld.
I have to disagree. I think that's actually the one mod that would be safe. I think the mods that are going to get fucked over are the ones it's like, okay, now you can play Tifa in my fucking Palworld. I think those are the mods that are going to get fucked over the most. And that's when you're going to get sued. That's when you're going to get okay, that mod is now banned. I think it's going to be...
But how would this lead to them suing them, though? That's the part where I'm...
Well, they're trying to... They're suing Palworld for it right now because there's...
Well, no, they're not suing... No, the lawsuit with Palworld is that they've infringed on their IP. So it's not about mods. It's about IP infringement, which is different. This is basically saying, though, that basically Palworld's whole defense is, hey, there are Pokemon mods all over the place and you don't do anything about it. And Nintendo's defense is, well, they don't count as art, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because they brought that up against GTA 5. They said, well, GTA 5, I can play as fucking Charmander and have sex with a prostitute and all that, and that doesn't seem to be a problem. Yeah, but that doesn't seem to be a problem, but all of a sudden this is, so it's like, oh, well, that doesn't count.
So this basically is just their whole defense hinges on somebody believing this crock of bullshit. In my opinion, I think it's bullshit. It doesn't make sense when you hold it up to any other medium of art.
Yeah.
All right. And if you want to call games art, well, then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to fucking have it held up to what music is like, what painting is like, what fucking writing is like, what drawing is like. This would effectively mean that like somebody if you have two people writing a script and one person gets like really ahead on it and starts it, and another person adds to it, that's effectively saying that their contributions don't matter. Like that's some pretty fucking big precedent to be setting, not only in games, but in a ton of industries. Now it's just limited to Japan here, but it could end up going to other places. I don't think the US would ever adopt it, and I don't think most Western countries would. But if the US adopts it, that's still a problem for the US, and it causes problems for any Japanese games that, have that basically any company operating in Japan. Like, it's such a stupid argument. Also, they can get like a win over, I'm sorry, a company that already won. Like Palworld already won. You're not going to be able to do any, like, they won. They put out a game that was better than yours. Everyone said this is way better than Pokemon. And then you went and made a fucking game copying it and Minecraft. You have no fucking leg to stand on, Nintendo. You lost. Go back, cook up something really good. And if you put out a mid Pokemon game, it will destroy what Palworld is.
That's always been the argument. It's been like, well, a half-decent Pokemon game will always beat this. So why don't you just go do that? Nah, we're gonna
and you would make a fuck ton of money, and you wouldn't have to spend any money on lawyers' fees.